What up, y'all? It's Uncle Kurt, Triad Hip Hop Podcast. And it's the weekend, so you know what that means. It's time for another lyrical breakdown. So let's get started. Alright, so this is one of my favorite MCs. He's definitely top 5 for me at all times. And that is the Queensbridge native Nasty Nas. Now this joint goes back in the day. This is a song that he did back around the Illmatic times, maybe right after that, but it never made the album. And these are the types of songs that where he makes up the lost tapes, because he's always recording, and this is one of those songs that was a hidden gem that just never made an album. So this song is called Understanding. And in the beginning, you might hear some familiar voices, doing some commentary. But the whole song is just Nas rapping. It's only 2 verses, so I'm going to do both verses because it's just that dope. So without further ado, let's get right into it. Nas, Understanding.
Yo, this is funky. Hey, yo, what's up, fella?
Peace, how you?
Yeah, I'm alright.
Yeah. Check it out. I see today's mathematics as being understanding, Understanding is having the ability to see things clearly for what they are and not what they present themselves to be. It completes the cipher, you know what I'm saying? It's also symbolic to the black child, which is the best part. Hey, yo, son, represent.
Now I'm the average nigga in the street like God. I try to beat tripe odds, ride my elite through the night fog and park. It's Buddha till we spark is consistent. The beat smells the L because it travels long distance. Cruising in this Chrysler, pursuing niggas in my cipher. Start wildin' like insane asylum on Rikers Island. Verbal assassin, I murder freestyling. 1, 2 for the gun crew, 3 drinking crystallin'. I play the side cause the words of man kill. Proverbs buck out my grill, real as ill, will keep still. Nobody move, nobody die, why must I be high? Bustin' the tripe bitches, touching mic switches. It's like a hot spoon of heroin, a dawn like Paron. Females love the guns I be wearing. Plant my seed to live infinite. Indeed, in my sentences I flow demanding. That's understanding. With a little love, 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 understanding. 850 tempo, but rugged like a pinto. Chop shop hip hop, burn the block intro. High priest release voodoo, deja vu on this taboo. Illmatic shit and what have you. Chef cocaine cook, no brainer got the proper diction. My composition bleeds words and weed blurs my vision. I'm freezing in time, stops the rhyme. I'm sober in a stolen Range Rover, much crime. I stick up America, Nas in your area, disrupt the sound barrier. Clowns give rounds of terror. A 4-whip with more clips than Clint had in his era. Dirty Harry, cold black, the uncanny of Kojak or Beretta. Sticking up trucks, carrying armoretta. Clever to enticing herbs, I'm icing while I'm pricing. Niggas like it's slaves, best behave, I'm the nice one. Nas broke it down for Nasir. Peace protection, pop troops, resurrection. International hoes, I'm sexing while you be fucking one section. Question, does a lonely mic give me an erection? Yes, and on the float like a Jetson. Futuristic rapping mystic. Bust it, try and diss it while my fingers on the iron biscuit. I rhyme terrific, sparkle in like the diamond district. It's understanding. Understand, y'all.
Alright, so as you can see, my man's always been about that hip hop, that lyricism. I mean, it's just one of those songs, man. This song I could listen to 1,000 times and not get tired of it. So let's go into the lyrics real quick. He said, now I'm the average nigga in the streets like God. I try to beat trife odds, ride my elite through the night fog and park. It's Buddha to be sparked. It's consistent. The B smells the L because it travels long distance. So let's go back through that real quick. So he said, now I'm the average nigga in the streets like God. I try to beat trife odds, meaning, you know what I mean? in the streets, you know, the odds are against you pretty much, you know what I mean? So he's like, I'm trying to beat them odds, you know what I mean? I'm trying to beat trife odds, ride my elite through the night fog, you know what I mean? Meaning he riding with his crew of people through the night fog, you know what I mean? So, and then he said in part, it's Buddha to be sparked. It's consistent. The B smells the L because it travels long distance, meaning the police can smell the smoke that we doing because it's so strong, it travels long distance. He said, cruising in his Chrysler, pursuing niggas in my cipher. You know what I mean? He just talking about how the police drive around in their Chryslers, pursuing niggas in his crew. Then he said, start wilding like insane asylum on Rikers Island. You know what I mean? That's self-explanatory, you know what I mean? We out here just chilling, having a good time, but if we need to, we can wild out, you know what I mean, like an insane asylum on Rikers Island. Then he said, verbal assassin, I murder freestyling, 1-2 for the gun crew, 3 drinking Chris Stalin. Yo, I mean, his flow on this song is just ridiculous, man. I love it. So, you know what I mean? He said, verbal assassin, I murder freestyling. You know what I mean? That's just that random hip-hop talk. And then he said, 1-2 for the gun crew, 3 drinking Chris Stalin. He always talk about drinking Chris Stalin. You know, Nas always likes that. He said, I play the side because the words of man kill. You know what I mean? Meaning I chill because I know words can do more damage than anything. You know what I mean? So I'm going to chill and play the side. I play the side because the words of man kill. Proverbs, buck out my grill, real is ill will, peep still. You know what I mean? Proverbs, because he's still talking about how the words is powerful. And then he said, buck out my grill, real is ill will, peep still. I mean, you know, Ill Will was a dude that was a good friend of his that got killed right before Illmatic happened. And so, you know, he always represent and shout out Ill Will's name. You know what I mean? So he said, nobody move, nobody die. Why must I be high? Bussin' and trife bitches, touching mic switches. You know what I mean? And it's just, you know, a lot of this is just dope lyrics. You know what I mean? Don't take it too serious. You know what I mean? He using the B word with bitches and, you know, but it was just, you know, this was a time when the word got thrown around a lot more loosely with no big deal because, you know, most people in the hood and the projects and the streets use the term very loosely, you know what I mean, like the N-word, you know what I mean? It was just, it wasn't meant to, you know, really disrespect the woman per se. It was more so just saying, like if you say the word chicks, you know, these chicks out here, you know what I mean? So anyway, you know, not trying to defend anything, but I'm just saying the intention was different back then. But he said, bussin' and trife bitches, touching mic switches. It's like a hot spoon of heroin, a dawn like Perron. You know what I mean? I love that because right there, you know, when he said a dawn like Perron, he's talking about Dom Perignon, you know, the drink, but he used it in, you know, he said the word in a different way just to make it rhyme. You know what I mean? A hot spoon of heroin, a dawn like Perron, you know what I mean? And heroin is also an incorrect word, just another way to say heroin. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's just dope lyrics and wordplay. You know what I mean? That's why I love Nas, man. The slang, the wordplay is all genius. You know what I mean? So he said, females love the guns I be wearing. Plant my seeds to live infinite. Indeed, in my sentences, I pull demanding. That's understanding. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? He's, you know, it's just a dope wordplay. You know, the whole song is just dope wordplay. It's not like a hidden message. It's just more so, this is the street mentality. This is the New York state of mind. This is a ghetto story about shit that be happening in my hood. You know what I mean? I'm just putting it in a dope way. You know what I mean? So then we go into verse 2. He said, 850 tempo, but rugged like a Pinto. Chop shop hip hop. Burning Block intro. You know what I mean? 850 tempo. Rugged like a Pinto. You know what I mean? You know, back in the days, cars used to be a lot stronger than they are now, man. You know what I mean? They used to be made of some hard steel and iron and shit like that. Now they just made out of this soft bullshit that'll fold easy. You know what I mean? So, and so this would have been recorded probably around 94, 95. You know what I mean? Somewhere in that area. I don't think it would have been as late as 96. I would give it as somewhere between 94, 95. But anyway, so 850 tempo, but rugged like a Pinto, chop shop hip hop, Burning Block intro, High Priest release voodoo, deja vu on this taboo, Illmatic shit and what have you. Man, that shit is so dope, man. High Priest release voodoo, you know what I mean? He's talking about, you know, that's that shit that a lot of people don't know. You know, there's a lot of people that practice that, you know, voodoo, and you know, he's saying you know, it's taboo, but it is what it is. You know, people do that. It's just part of life, you know. High Priest release voodoo, deja vu on this taboo, Illmatic shit and what have you. And then he said, chef cocaine cook, no brain, ain't got the proper diction. My competition bleeds words and my weed blurs my vision. Come on, man. Come on. Chef cocaine cook, no brain, ain't got the proper diction. You know what I mean? So he's like, you know, it's almost like saying somebody's brain dead because they ain't got the proper diction, but it still sounds dope and intellectual. That's the genius shit about Nas. You know what I mean? He ain't never claimed to be nobody's college scholar or anything like that, but he's very educated. You know what I mean? So, my competition bleeds words and weed blurs my vision. I'm freezing in time, stop the rhyme. I'm sober in my stolen Range Rover, much crime. Yo, I'm sober in my stolen Range Rover, much crime. I stick up America, Nas in your area, disrupt the sound barrier, clowns get pounds of terror. Whew, man. He said, I stick up America, Nas in your area. He basically saying, I'm holding America hostage with these dope gangster ass lyrics. You know what I mean? I stick up America, Nas in your area, disrupt the sound barrier, clowns get pounds of terror. A full whip for more clips than Clint had in his era. Dirty Harry, Coal Black, the uncanny of Kojak or Beretta. Man, listen. A full whip for more clips, meaning a full-size car, big car for more clips than Clint had in his era. Dirty Harry, meaning talking about Clint Eastwood when he played the role Dirty Harry from back in the day. A lot of the young folks might not know that. He said Coal Black, the uncanny of Kojak or Beretta. And that's a reference to TV shows because it was an old school TV show called Kojak and another song called Beretta. So sticking up trucks carrying Armoretta, clever to entice them, herbs I'm icing. Hold on, I can't even represent that right. I gotta say that again. He said, clever to entice them, herbs I'm icing, while I'm pricing, niggas like they slaves, best behave, I'm the nice one. Let's go back one more time. Sticking up trucks, carrying Armoretta, clever to entice them, herbs I'm icing, while I'm pricing, niggas like they slaves, best behave, I'm the nice one. You know what I mean? He said niggas like they slaves. He talking about meaning, you know, these dudes out here just acting like slaves instead of trying to seek mental freedom. You know what I mean? You want to be free in the mind before you can be free of anything else. You know what I mean? Can't be physically free until you're free in the mind. He said niggas like they slaves, best behave, I'm the nice one. Nas, broken down to Nasir, please protect your pop dukes, resurrection, internal holes I'm sexing. Why you be fucking one section? Question. Man, listen. Hold on. He said, Niggas like they slaves, best behave. I'm the nice one, Nas. Broken down to Nasir. That's self-explanatory. Broken down to Nasir. Please protect your Pop Dukes. Resurrection. International hoes I'm sexing. While you be fucking one section. So he basically letting you know my shit is big time. My game is big time. I'm fucking mad hoes out here, and it's international. I'm all over the world while you be fucking one section of bitches. You know what I mean? And then he said, question, does a lonely mic give me an erection? Yes, son. On a float like the Jetson. Yo, that shit is dope right there. I can't even say it right because yo, Nas, his flow was so fucking dope with this one, man. He said, does a lonely mic give me an erection? He just asking a question. You know what I mean? Does a lonely mic give me an erection? Yes, son. On a float like the Jetson. So he letting you know that's that Rakim influence. He letting you know I am a microphone fiend. You know what I mean? I'm a hip hop fiend. I'm a microphone fiend, and this is all that I yearn to do is be on this mic, just delivering these poetic gangster raps. You know what I mean? These hood classics. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's all about, you know, this is a different time. I don't think a rapper could say some shit like that right now. Does a mic give me an erection? You know what I mean? Most people would look at him like, yo, fuck is this nigga talking about, man? Why would you say some shit like that? Who gets erections from a microphone? So, you know, it's a different time. You know, he's just talking about how he fiends to just be a microphone master. You know what I mean? So, and then he said on a float like the Jetson, meaning like the old cartoon, the Jetsons, where everything was futuristic and all this shit was floating in the sky. You know, he's on a treadmill, but it's way up in the fucking sky. All that type of shit. You know what I mean? On a float like the Jetson, futuristic rapping mystic. Bust it, try and diss it while my fingers on the iron biscuit. I rhyme terrific, sparkling like the Diamond District. It's understanding. He said, futuristic, rapping mystic, bust it, try and diss it while my fingers on the iron biscuit. So that's a double entendre right there, because when you talk about the iron biscuit, you would think gun, that's one meaning, but he's also talking about the microphone, because he's a real hip-hop artist. So he's like, the mic is my real weapon. You know what I mean? So try and diss it while my fingers on the iron biscuit. I rhyme terrific, sparkling like the Diamond District. It's understanding. Man, what can you do with that, man? There's no rappers out here that can get that king poetic shit that Nas gives you. You know what I mean? And that's one of the things I love about him, man. He, you know, that's one of the nicknames he used for himself back in the day, King Poetic. The dude is just a genius with the lyrics. He's intellectual. He knows how to give you a mixture of hood and a mixture of scholar, you know what I mean, at the same time. So it throws you off, you know what I mean? So, you know, he'll say some shit like one of his old songs of Illmatic. He was like, word to Christ, a disciple of streets, trifle on beats. I decipher prophecies through a mic and say peace. It's like, damn, how the fuck do you think of shit like that? You know what I mean? Most people would say something like word to God, you know what I mean? But he said word to Christ, a disciple of streets, trifle on beats. It's crazy, man. And Nas is just a genius, man. And you know, he's one of those people, he will never be forgotten once he's gone. There's, you know, you got to throw a parade for a dude like this, man. You can't just let somebody like that be put in the ground. You know, his death, man, listen, I don't even want to speak about that, because I don't even want to think about this dude being gone. You know what I mean? But even if he does die right now, his legacy is intact. You know what I mean? I don't think there's a rapper out there that has a legacy like him. You know what I mean? To come out and be a top 5 MC from day one. He didn't have to earn it. He was top 5 from day one. You know what I mean? People a lot of people out there had to earn their spots. You know, they were all right when they came out, it got better, and then all of a sudden now you're like, okay, they top 5. You know what I mean? So this dude, man, he's incredible. Please check out anything Nas. You will love it, from Illmatic to Stillmatic and all of that. You know what I mean? Nasir, that album that Kanye did, that was a good one. It was short but sweet. You know what I mean? All of his joints, man, I like him, man. I ain't never had no problem with Nas. You know, I mean, he does try to, every now and then, he used to try to do a lot of more pop type hip hop just to get some sales, you know what I mean? Because that's what they recommended back in the day. You know, that's why people like Biggie, he wanted to do all this hardcore stuff, and Puff was like, nah, man, you got to do some juicy type stuff. You know what I mean? You got to do some stuff for the ladies. And, you know, Big was dope because he found a good balance with it. You know what I mean? Nobody really ever looked at Big like, oh, you crossed over, because he found a good balance. With Nas, you know, he leaned a little bit more when he did like the song with Lauryn Hill. A lot of people say, oh man, that's too soft. You know what I mean? That's too pop, you know? And the song to me wasn't really pop. It was just, you know what I mean? It just wasn't hardcore. It was just dope hip hop. You know what I mean? That's all I looked at it as. But anyway, you know, just, I don't want to keep rambling on. Nas, top 5 for me. He will always be top 5. My top 5 changes every now and then, but he's one that never changes. So I'm not going to keep talking. For Triad Hip Hop Podcast, for the Lyrical Breakdown, this is Uncle Kurt, and I'll see y'all next time, all right? Peace.